Hi YouTubers, welcome to another edition of All Things BMW Boxer. Now, I've decided to do a comparative test between the R1200 RTP 2011 and a 2010 FJR 1300A. I've had the BMW now for about 4 years, and I've had the Yamaha now for probably about 3 or 4 months. So I've had a lot more experience with BMW than I have with the Yamaha. But over time, I've actually really wanted to have both bikes. I think that they are different kinds of bikes really. The BMW is more of a tourer, and the Yamaha is definitely a sports tourer with the emphasis on sport. It's a bit like a sport bike dressed up in touring clothing. And in terms of, if you think about sports bikes that you've ridden, the FJR is probably like an early 2000s, maybe a late 90s sports bike in terms of its power output. 145 horsepower, BM 110 horsepower, and I think they have similar torque. BMW about 120 Newton meters, Yamaha probably a little bit less, but not far off. 1200cc, 1300cc. Now, I had done a little comparative chart here, comparing the different factors of the two bikes. And you might want to pause your screen and have a look at that. So I've given them a rating out of 10. Now, unfortunately, I made a very long video, a 17-minute video, talking about all those factors just now. And then I tried to upload it to YouTube, and it was too large a file to upload, so it was a bit of a blow. So I'm going to do a shorter video and maybe do a follow-up video. Just a couple of things I might mention in this video before I give you a quick show around both bikes. The BMW is a better bike when you consider the general categories. It's really got a fantastic fairing, fully encompassing. Handlebars are just in the perfect position. The center of gravity is very low. It handles very well because of that. It's actually a lighter bike than the Yamaha by about 30 or 40 kilos. 250 versus 291 weights. And you can actually feel it when you're trying to maneuver in around in the parking lot. Also, the BM is a much plusher ride. It's got much better suspension travel. It soaks up the bumps a lot better, and it just feels more plush. BMW is also a cooler bike. You know, the inline fours unfortunately suffer from a little bit of hot leg syndrome because you have a radiator in the front, and the air wafts over your legs, and it tends to heat up the tank as well because the engine's right underneath the tank. The BM is a very cool bike. The engine is low, all the heat producing parts are low down, and the fairing diverts the heat right away from you. This bike is, it feels like there's no engine on it when you're riding on the highway. It's not even hot at all. So your legs remain cool, the fairing feels cool to the touch. The tank is plastic on this bike, I don't like so much, but it keeps it very cool. The tank on this bike is metal, which I like, but it does get warm on a hot day, especially in traffic. Yamaha, man, this thing's engine is fantastic. It's like a rocket ship. It has a warp drive. This one doesn't have a warp drive. So when you open up throttle and let those revs send up 4, 5, 6, 7, this thing absolutely flies. Whereas this bike is a gentleman's tourer. Very torquey, it will still accelerate nicely down the road. Nice sweet spot, 4, 5, 6,000. This thing is an absolute rocket ship, just waiting to let rip. Gearbox. The BMW actually has a better gearbox, oddly enough. One of the first times a Japanese bike doesn't have as good a gearbox as a BMW Boxer. The reason I say that is this bike actually has a good gearbox, 3, 4, 5. You can snick through the gears nicely. 1 and 2 are a bit clonkety, but this thing's Achilles heel is from neutral to first. Ooh, clonk! You've got to actually pull the clutch in, flip the throttle, and then carefully change gear to first. Whereas the BM is fine, neutral to first, no problem at all. Slightly clunkety, but actually generally a better gearbox. Windscreens on both bikes are fantastic. This bike has a really good windscreen as well. Panniers, top loader panniers on the BMW are just fantastic, love them. The Yamaha has traditional side opening panniers, not very convenient to work with. This one you can open the pannier with the gloves on. This one's quite fiddly, you got to use keys and things. This one, top notch panniers, love it. Right, let's just do a very quick video show around. So they both have nice headlights, and both the left and right headlights on both bikes actually come on when your lights are on, not on beams, which is nice. You don't have no one-eyed lights, one-eyed bikes. They have the same wheel size, tire choices. You can mix and match. The same. Yamaha's mirrors much better than the BMW's mirrors. Just easier to use. The BMW mirrors are fine, but you're looking over your hands and the mirror is showing you under your arms. So the handlebar does tend to get in the way a little bit. That's more like a view you'd see there perhaps. Whereas the Yamaha's gives you a nice clear view and no obstructions there. Yamaha has very pretty instrumentation. This is the Generation 2 FJR. It's got like a mini, it's got a big speedometer, but it has lots of useful information, temperature, economy, as well as trip meters, as well as engine temperature and fuel. BM is a little bit more old school, but it has a pleasant instrument cluster in any case. BM has a much wider appearance, a better seat. Yamaha is actually quite a narrow bike, especially when you look at it from the front, but it has a very wide seat, oddly enough. So it sort of has the sport bike look. It's got that sort of slightly lean, mean inline 4 look about it. Like I'm a sports bike in tourer clothing. But it sort of has the heart of a sports bike. The BM is definitely Boxer twin, and it's definitely a tourer bike. Makes no pretensions of being a sports bike. But its handling is very sweet though. It really rolls around the corners, low center of gravity. Both have nice crash bar protection. The handlebars are in a better position on the BM. The Yamaha's are slightly bent in, and on a long trip it's actually more comfy on the BM to have your arms nice and wide and just the right distance apart and away from your body. Tanks, they both got good tanks. As far as I remember, 25 for each litres, and the economy is about 20 k's the litre, so you can get a good distance on both rides. The BM is easier to maintain. Inline 4s, everything's under the tank. You've got to take fairing panels off to get to everything, and it's water cooled, which has extra work. BM has cylinder heads out the sides. You can change your spark plugs, do your tappet, check your tappet, your valve clearance is easy. The wheels on a BMW come off much easier than the Yamaha, especially the back one, I mean. I can't really get in there, but 5 bolts and off the wheel comes. The Yamaha, you got to take the axle out and remove the ABS unit and spacers and things. It's a bit more complex. But there you have it, folks. 2 bikes. The BM is the best tourer, the Yamaha is the best sporty ride. If you want performance, go FJR. If you want comfort and good passenger carrying capability, go for the BMW. Have a good day, guys. Bye bye.